Buckner will bring it down to Bird. Bird steps in off the glass and hits it. Great inside position by Larry Bird.
1984 NBA Eastern Conference First Round, Game 4. Despite suffering an ankle injury in the second quarter, Larry Bird battled through the pain and finished with 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. Robert Parrish led the Celtics with 20 points and 12 rebounds, while Dennis Johnson added 18 points, helping Boston edge Washington 99-96 to clinch the series. On the other side, Jeff Ruland delivered a monster performance for the Bullets, posting 30 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists. Frank Johnson also contributed 17 points, but it wasn't enough to hold off the resilient Celtics.
Not hesitant about that shot. The alternate here. Bird, the foul line jumper. In and out, tipped around, and Ruland has the first 3 rebounds. Ballard wide open underneath. Ballard, excellent movement without the basketball. Nothing like great motion, Roger. Whenever you move without that basketball, you create a dilemma for the defense. Doubled up on Parrish again. Sobers takes it away. Quickly to Frankie Johnson. Ruland's the trailer. And a timeout. Bullets.
They better get a timeout, Casey. This team is fired up and ready to play.
Timeout on the floor. 9:14 left to go in the opening period. The Bullets 6, the Celtics nothing.
So transition basketball, and we know that Boston loves to run with the ball.
Parrish hits the turnaround shot. Robert Parrish, that's what they want to do. Put the situation in the hands of a Rick Mahorn outside as Ruland hits the shot. Jeff Ruland, his second hoop.
Ruland has really developed a 17-foot jumper to go along with his driving game, and that makes him so effective.
Once again, Sobers.
And that was through the recommendation of Tiny Archibald.
Parrish. He hits. Robert Parrish now has hit his first 2 shots.
And that he can rebound from that guard slot.
Bird in the lane. Nice cut that time, and he draws the foul going to the hole.
Watch Bird set up the defensive player, use the screen of Parrish. There he is now. He bumps him on that screen. He gets real tight, so the defensive player cannot get around the screen. Ballard is definitely lost because of the great movement. What made that shot available, Roger, was that he rubbed as tight as possible to the screener so that the defensive player could not slide through.
Larry Bird, of course, one of the top free throw shooters in the league, and Dick, he really finished up superbly this year. Over the last 7 games, averaged better than 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists.
Roger, I said to everybody out there who's banging a typewriter, making a case for Bernard King, making a case for Dr. J, making a case for Isaiah Thomas, Adrian Dantley, put that case away. The MVP of basketball has to be Larry Bird. In every phase of the game, he has been brilliant this year and missed the consistency.
8-6, 2-point Bullets lead. Ruland has it down low. Bird blocked it. Ruland so strong, he got it up anyway. Now the Celtics will push it down in a hurry. Bird has Henderson wide open. Gerald, who hit 11 of 15 in the first game, misses Maxwell the offensive board and in.
Cedric gets inside position. That's the first offensive board for the Celtics tonight, and they convert it and get a score.
Celtics, as Bird will go back to Dennis Johnson. One fake, the 10-footer, and he hits it. Great.
Really, you like to go with it.
Parrish guarding Mahorn right now, and Mahorn has hit his 2 shots.
For Washington, that's conducive to a running game.
Mahorn again.
Mahorn's really a little hungry. He had to look at his eye as he is
100% from the free throw line so far in this series. McHale matched up on Mahorn now. Ricky Mahorn is 4 of 4.
Mahorn's in a rhythm right now, and he's getting the position on the floor that he wants. 8-9 feet away from the goal. They got to push him out a little further.
Bullets with a 2-point lead, 16-14. 2:40 left to go, opening period. As Ricky Mahorn has attempted 4 shots, he's made all 4. Henderson not afraid to put it up from 3-point land. Maxwell inside, and Ruland cleared house, releases to Sobers, wide open for the lay-in.
They take advantage of a breakdown by the Celtics.
Henderson comes over to help out. Ruland finds Mahorn. He's 5 of 5.
And then he points at Jeff Rulin. He says, nice assist, big guy. As Andre said earlier, he's been doing a great job passing the basketball, Rulin.
Henderson, and it counts. Gerald Henderson took it baseline and put it up and in for a minute to go in the opening period. Wedman, the outside rainbow, and he hits.
He started to gain some confidence down the stretch with the Rick Mahorn at center. And I don't mean that to be negative. I just think that he's more or less a good role player.
Bird to Cedric Maxwell underneath, holding a 3-point 24-21 lead over the Boston Celtics. There as Sobers will bring it down to the other end. Rulin in the lane, drops it off to Jeff Malone from 15, and he hits.
That's the kind of shot Malone really wants to shoot. He's a good stationary jump shooter.
Bird has yet to get a basket. He's got 2 free throws. McHale to turn around from outside, and he hit. And Buckner will bring it down to Bird. Bird steps in off the glass and hits it.
Great inside position by Larry Bird. He seals off the defensive player with his body, protects the basketball, slides through for the little jump shot off the glass.
26-25, 1-point lead for the Bullets. Foul inside as they found Mahorn down low.
Double teams and give the kind of help you'd like on the basketball.
Foul was on Quinn Buckner. Frankie Johnson is checked back in, and they get Bird for reaching over the back of Rick Mahorn. So all of a sudden, the Celtics have become very conscious of Rick Mahorn.
Bird looks over at Hugh Hollins and says, hey, you, I'm Larry Bird. I'm a superstar. Don't blow the whistle. That's Rick Mahorn. He's got to prove himself in this league.
Bird moves out on Ballard, who takes it from the corner and hits it.
Ballard's got a quick release. He's an excellent shooter coming off the screen. He's not going to manufacture a shot off the dribble, Roger.
Bird moves inside, the left hand, follows it off the board, and Frankie Johnson has it. Now, Shue says, hold it up, hold it up. Ballard will take the shot. He misses it. Rulin puts it in.
Rulin gets good inside position, runs the court in perfect offensive boards. Gene Shue was saying, hold it up, back it up like you said. They said, no, coach, we're running.
Bird, the offensive rebound. He's down on the deck. And Hugh Hollins is going to call a foul. Bird hurt his ankle. Bird hurt his right ankle.
Ray Malchuri, the trainer on the floor. Bird looks like he's in some pain, Roger. Bird getting position on the offensive boards. Mahorn comes over to the top. He's holding his ankle. I didn't see him twist. I don't know if you did. I didn't see him twist the ankle.
He had position with his left leg. His right leg was off the ground, and there was some contact, and he came down on the side of that right ankle. Dr. Tom Silva out there with Ray Melchiori, and Larry Bird. Oh, he's hurt.
He can't put any pressure at all down, it seems. They have to get that on ice. And
there was a game earlier this year. Larry was out with lower back spasms, and they came in here in Washington. As a matter of fact, Scott Wedman had a big game, scoring 18 points this season high in that particular win. Bird walking around. Now, sometimes, Dick, the best thing is if you can keep moving on it, keep going on it, keep it active. And then it's going to swell up afterwards, but you can continue to play.
I don't know a great deal about injuries. I know we used to have an old cry when a player used to go down. Come on, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. One time in practice, Bob Lanier, I tripped a little bit in a drill, and I was really out, Roger. And he says, come on, Dick, it doesn't hurt.
Tom McMillan has checked into the game, and Maxwell has come in now, and Bird is going to go over and sit down. You know, there was an article in the Washington Post today talking about the acting that goes on with the Boston Celtics. Some of the Bullets players feel that they're some of the best actors in the National Basketball Association.
They do a good job acting on a basketball floor as players, too. You don't win 62 games just acting, Roger. You perform.
Buckner misses. Parrish, the offensive rebound at end. I'll tell you what, though, when you see Bird goes down, at least if you're Casey Jones, your stomach goes right up to your throat.
Red arm back up there, smoking that cigar, also went down and was choking on it a little bit.
Parrish now with 7 straight points for the Boston Celtics.
Roger, he establishes good position, comes across the lane with that hook.
That's why they haven't been to the playoffs in a long time. Frankie Johnson outside. He's hit 2 in a row. Cale, Bird, and Robert Parrish. Frankie Johnson, Jeff Malone, McMillan, Rulin, and Ballard. They go to Parrish. Is it 9 straight? He misses. McHale, the offensive board, and in. Kevin McHale now with 4 points.
McHale with those long arms really works the glass. Great touch, so he's going to give you some good offense.
Now they go to McHale again down low against Mahorn, and Kevin McHale now with 6 points.
I don't think there's any doubt that he's the best sixth man in basketball. You can talk about all your other sixth men. He represents part of that six-man basketball when you talk about the Celtics that started with Frank Ramsey, Havlicek, and went into the days of Paul Silas, Don Nelson, and now Kevin McHale.
Celtics have taken their first lead since it was 12-10. They lead at 35-34, and Gene Shue and the Bullets have called a timeout.
On the screen, you must watch the ball in your man when you're playing a guy without the ball, Roger, not just a man.
Bird the rebound as Quinn Buckner did a back roll after being bumped by Frankie Johnson. And the Celtics with a 1-point lead, 35-34. They're looking into McHale. He's guarded by Mahorn. Wedman has it. Parrish on top. Swings it to Buckner. The high arching shot, and Quinn Buckner, nothing but net there, as he has been an effective outside shooter for the Boston Celtics. Always trying to release somebody, aren't they, Dick?
They want to let somebody go to put pressure on the defense constantly.
Buckner again. Now he moved that time with the basketball. Kevin McHale, the last 2 Washington possessions, has caused block shots as he takes it and hits from the corner. Kevin McHale with 8 points in the period, and the Celtics have scored 11 straight, and they lead at 42-34.
One of the great assets of all the championship years when Red Auerbach won 9 out of 10, and that's unbelievable. Blocked the shot by Russell, converted on the other end for a score.
Inside to Kapicki, stolen by Bird. Dennis Johnson comes up with it. Parrish down low, comes down with it. The pump and in. Robert Parrish showed you some good movement for a 7-footer. Parrish now with 8 points, and it's 44-34. Wanted to foul Quinn Buckner. Quinn Buckner now with 7 points for the Celtics, and it's 46-34.
One thing again, Roger, they blocked the shot and they converted. So many times you see the blocked shot go out of bounds, remain in possession of the team that had the ball originally, but they block it and they convert it.
Coming into this game, the Celtics had blocked 20 shots in the first 3, and finally Ricky Sobers going to be Washington basketball.
Quinn Buckner looks a little fatigued to me right now, Roger. He's played so long on the floor. There's the head fake. 1, 2, 3, go up 4 times. He wants the 2 points. He wants the goal. He may be right. That may have been on its downward flight. Very tough call. I'm glad I'm sitting here, not with the striped shirt on. What a competitor Woolen is. He's a fighter.
Ballard from 20 feet, he hits. Greg Ballard now with 6 points, and the Bullets have scored 4 straight. It's 46-38.
They got to get Ballard into the offensive flow and get some shots out of Greg. He's working so hard defensively against Bird.
Bird has just 4 points. McHale, the fall-away shot. He misses badly. Parrish, the offensive board. Strong move to the hole by Robert Parrish.
Is there any doubt that he's playing like an all-star, Roger, and dominating the inside tonight?
14 points for the Chief, and it's go. Celtics have a 9-point lead.
Red Auerbach's acquisition of this guy right here, Dennis Johnson, has made this team a legitimate contender for the World Championship.
10 on the shot clock. They spring Bird loose, and Larry Bird hits. He has 6 points now, and it's 50-39.
Not going to keep him quiet all night long, Roger. Eventually, he's going to break out, and create a lot of damage on the floor.
Mahorn has not scored here in the second period. The Bullets have scored just 15 points in this period. Rulin inside, and Jeff Rulin now with 8.
They created a 45-degree angle for the pass into Rulin, isolated him so they couldn't give help defense.
7 seconds left to go in the half. Dennis Johnson drives the lane and puts it in.
Very important.
Stripped away by Bird to Henderson and in.
Great give-and-go basketball, Rod.
Buckner will be matched up on Frankie Johnson. Ballard outside and hits. And the Celtics came back with a 52-41 halftime lead. Parrish the turnaround, and he has been the main man. Robert Parrish now with 16 points.
That shot's almost unstoppable, Roger. When he drifts away with his great size, he shoots it above his head, has the long arms. You just can't get a piece of it. If it's falling, you're in big, big trouble.
1 point in that first half. Boston ran off 15 straight points. As Bird knocks it loose, DJ saves it. Now they've got a chance with a 5-on-3 right now as Maxwell sends it across to Buckner, wide open, off the glass and in, and Quinn Buckner with 9 points. I should say a 4-on-3 because Bird was still down at the other end, and immediately The Bullets want a timeout with 9:48 left to go in the third. The Celtics have moved out to a 15-point, 58-43 lead.
Washington just doesn't have the kind of floor speed, Roger, to get the points in a big bundle all of a sudden. They have to do what they just did there, execute quiet on the floor offensively. Hasn't been able to get down inside. He doesn't have the kind of upper body strength. That guy's won over 650 games in his career. There he is on a post, very quick player, but he can't get the good inside position with the drop step, and then he reaches over the top to rubber man, and he's called for the foul.
Maxwell now on the switch off on Sobers, and Rulin set a humongous pick, and they're going to call the foul on Jeff Rulin, and Rulin is steaming.
Jeff's been known to have a few technicals called on him. Look at the screen. He's laying a front screen. He steps out, Roger. Good call by the official. You have to be stationary. That's why a lot of coaches like to use what we call a rear screen, so that the offensive player doesn't see the dribbler coming off of to where he can lend a helping hand. Rulin just gave a little bit moved
with the shoulder,
his body and his shoulder, and the official was right on it with a good call. Sorry, Jeff.
That's the third foul on Jeff Rulin.
Here they demonstrate two-man basketball. Sobers is trying to run the defensive player into the screen. Notice how Jeff Rulin lays that shoulder out. As soon as he lays that shoulder out, that's immediately movement on the body, and therefore it's called by the official a block. That's why, Roger, a lot of guys like to teach the rear screen to where the offensive player has no vision of the guy coming with the basketball, so therefore he doesn't give that help.
And those hurt a lot more, too. Dennis Johnson, they're giving him that outside shot. He hits it. Dennis Johnson now with 8 points. Parrish now double teamed. He steps out of it, and he hits the shot. Robert Parrish now with 18 points. Should have taken it in one-on-one. Blocked by Bird. Rulin gets it back. He's determined to take it in, and it counts.
Strong baseline drive by Jeff Rulin. He gets the good inside position. Roger, he squares his body to the baseline, which is so important in your power layup. Watch now. The ball goes down in the box. He puts it to the baseline. He reverse layups. Bird says, no way, Jeff. Get it out of here, big fella. Jeff says, but I'm coming back again. You try to get this one, Larry. You're not going to get a piece of this one. He says, count it.
Only one game this year. Rulin
running their sets, and now they're going to go down to Rulin again. He says, give me the rock.
Now they're going to double team him with Buckner. That leaves Frankie Johnson open, and he hits.
Tremel's a fighter, and he's the kind of guy that gives you an emotional lift when he's on the floor.
Maxwell swings it to Dennis Johnson. Buckner takes the shot. He misses it. Tipped around. Bird gets it. Puts it up, and traveling is called on Larry Bird.
John Bannock with an excellent call. Bird and McHale can do.
Frankie Johnson to Rulin it in. 9 straight points for the Washington Bullets, and Rulin with 8 in the period, 16 on the night. 62-55, a 16-point Celtic lead has been cut to 7, and the crowd really into it now at the Capitol Center as Bird backs in, double teamed by Frankie Johnson, and Hugh Hollins with the whistle.
As soon as Larry gets the basketball and puts it to the floor and tries to reverse dribble immediately, that draws the double team.
22nd timeout by the Boston Celtics.
He can be it all. Aircraft carrier, you name it, every adjective.
Henderson, the turnaround shot. Tough shot by Gerald Henderson.
Ricky Mahorn he's been non-existent in the offense.
Ballard misses and Bird the rebound.
Since the first half, Mahorn hasn't been involved at all. It's been exclusively Mr. Rulin. They got to get some help out of the draft offensively for that front court.
They have the 6th pick in the upcoming NBA draft. Bird off the glass and in. Larry Bird, and that ankle is causing him some problems, Dick. Bird with 8 points.
He's the kind of guy that can hurt you on one leg, Roger. Just being on the floor, he presents all kinds of problems with his passing ability as well as his scoring talent.
Carr guarding Malone. Rulin guarded by McHale. The sweeping hook shot. Rulin does that as well as anybody in the NBA.
Roger.
Frankie Johnson, 18 feet hits.
Frankie Johnson can thank Jeff Rulin's presence on the floor for that open jump shot. They double up, they get it back out to Johnson, and he just sticks the open jump shot.
7-point Celtic lead. Carr ML hits it. Well, he thought about it. McMillan will check in at the next. There's a little acting by ML. Malone, the baseline pop and hits.
Malone said, go ahead, fall down, ML. I may be a rookie, Mr. Experience, but I'll put this one down in your face.
Fouls. Parrish has 5. McHale, the turnaround down low, an air ball. Wedman puts up, missing in.
Wedman's shocked, he's surprised. McHale said, hey, give me an assist. That was a pass. It wasn't a good shots down inside to Rulin. They brought Rulin right on the floor. I wonder who's going to take the last shot.
Malone goes inside and puts it in.
They scored the last goal on a drive by Malone, but that was due to the presence on the floor of Jeff Rulin.
Celtics 70, Bullets 65.
Early in the third quarter, and then he draws his 5th, and they haven't been a good team since. Bad shot by Henderson.
But Bird, the offensive rebounded in.
Nice to have a guy like Larry Bird. When something breaks down, a poor shot by Henderson, and you come up with a deuce because of the great play by the All-Pro Larry Bird.
Bird with 10 points now, and it's 72-65 as we begin the final 12 minutes of play from the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland. Malone, the rookie, slips, and they're going to call the foul on Dennis Johnson, and that'll...
Cedric's been very quiet tonight.
DJ, he is now 4 of 5, Dick. Rulin, who has 18, sends it back to Frankie, and he hits it. And they've matched up very well all year with the Boston Celtics.
They're in the toughest division in basketball. When you talk about the Atlantic Division, those 5 teams can play.
Bird and in, and Bird's ankle. You can see the grimace on his face.
He's limping also, getting off the floor. That was an all-pro NBA move, just a clutch performer. That's why he's Dickie Vitale's choice as MVP.
Malone down low, and Jeff Malone, a very strong player, is able to put it up amongst the big timber.
You gotta like the rookie, Roger.
A steal by Frankie Johnson, and then a reach-in by Gerald Henderson in the backcourt. As Washington beat Dallas. No foul there, and that's unbelievable.
They choked on a whistle that time, no doubt about it. They just killed McMillan.
And Bird misses at the other end. Henderson, the offensive board, puts it up and in. Oh, and is this a foul, folks? What do you think?
And Kareem and Isaiah and Magic.
McHale knocked it out of Rulin's hand. Jeff got it back. He missed. Jeff Malone, the rebound, the shot, he hits.
I liked him at Mississippi State. He was a tough competitor.
And Mahorn and McHale are having words right now. Rick Mahorn and Kevin McHale really started to have at one another. Oh, there is Rick Mahorn, 6'8". Don't let anybody say he's 6'10". He's 6'8", and he tips it at about 250.
He told us today, he said, I'm not 6'10". I'm playing against all those giants.
Kapicki in there now. Henderson draws the foul on the way.
Washington is therefore not going to give you a lot of free throw opportunities.
They've got Parrish guarding Rulin.
And you know where they're going. They're going right down into Mr. Rulin, right now in the box. He's saying, get away from me. There's the double up.
Frankie Johnson, 4 on the shot clock. 3-point land. Frankie Johnson hits!
And he shows so much emotion and jubilation as he backpedals. Now we take a look at number 15. That is clutch time.
Oh, he hit some big 3-pointers 3 years ago against the Celtics in Boston in the playoff game. Bird outside and nothing but net. Larry Bird 6 in the period, 14 on the night. And it's 82-74 Celtics.
All the great ones just have that special ability. The Dr. J's, the Larry Birds. They really rise in a time when your club needs a basket.
Bird knocks it away from Kapicki. Bird goes to the deck. And it's going to be Celtics basketball. John Vanek calling the loose ball foul on Joe Kapicki as Larry Bird went to the deck as he made the steal. Dick, the last 7 shots by Washington have been taken by Malone and Frankie Johnson.
They're getting open because of the presence of Rulin on the floor. They're doubling him up, and he has the good presence on the floor to get the basketball, reverse it out to the open player.
Just over 8 minutes left to go. Kapicki leaves the game. Ballard, Mahorn, Rulin, Frankie Johnson, and Jeff Malone. Sobers has been on the bench. Bird outside, misses, and Rulin the rebound. He has 9.
So much of a labor to try and score a bundle of points for Washington. They just have to get piecemeal basketball.
Steal by Dennis Johnson, 3-on-2. Henderson to DJ, and in.
That's Boston Celtics basketball. He's using his quickness to his advantage.
Now a mismatch. Parrish outside Frankie Johnson over Robert Parrish on the floor. He's shooting over 50% from the floor in these 3 playoff games. Ballard wide open as they were giving help to Rulon.
Giving help and reverse the ball.
Rulon over Parrish and in.
He does a superb job of using that big body to protect himself.
As he would have done more offensively.
They're doubling him up though, Roger, forcing him to get the ball out of his hands.
McHale down low, 3 men over around him, the fall-away shot and in. And he hits the deck. Kevin McHale now with 10 points. And Buckner now is down on the floor. Whoa. Buckner limping up the floor. Malone stepped out of bounds. It'll be Celtics basketball. And Buckner now is kneeling, and he gets back on his feet. There's a wet spot on the floor. Quinn Buckner saying there's a wet spot on the floor.
It's a great asset to have your forwards able to handle a basketball like Maxwell and Larry Bird. They give you another dimension on the floor, another ball handler.
Bird, he hits. Larry Bird now with 8 in the period, 16 on the night, and it's a 10-point Celtic lead.
Excellent golf course for the Washington Bullets, and go back to the planning stages for next season.
Maxwell leans in, blocked by Mahorn. 4 on the shot clock. Air ball, and Maxwell screaming at Hugh Hollins. Sobers down at the other end and in.
Smart play by Larry Bird rather than chopping him on the hand and giving him the 3-point opportunity.
Well, Bird's also got 4 fouls.
Free throw shooting team, even though they haven't shot well in this series.
Sobers reaches in and commits the foul, and Ricky Sobers his 4th.
And he does a little dance. He does a little disco as he reaches in on him. Johnson's certainly not the guy you want to put on a foul line.
He's a good free throw shooter. He's also a good defensive player because Dennis Johnson was named to the NBA All-Defensive First Team for the 5th time, and only Walt Frazier has ever claimed that sort of longevity in that particular spot.
You mentioned defensive players. There's a guy in Milwaukee I think is the best defensive guard in basketball, and that's Sidney Moncrief, and he's also a total player, a great offensive player. What made me think about Sidney Moncrief?
Johnson hits the first one. Dennis Johnson now has hit 5 of 5 from the free throw line.
It's so difficult, Roger, when you're Washington trying to get back. You're down 7, now you're down 8. They just don't have enough firepower. They're going to get the ball at midcourt. Good timeout. Try to set up a 3-point opportunity.
94-86. Celtics lead it by 8 with 56 seconds to go.
Right here, Roger, the winner of this series plays the winner of the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons.
Sobers trying to get the 3-pointer, and it's short. Maxwell loses it. Rulon is fouled by McHale.
Rulon always seems to have that great ability of being in the right place at the right time, that great court presence.
46 seconds left to go, and an 8-point Celtic lead.
McHale looks like he's, let's get this over with. I want to go to the locker room. I want to shower. I want to go back to the hotel, go back to Boston and relax.
If indeed that Thursday game is Philadelphia, New Jersey, it would be at 7:20 Eastern time. Greg and John with the NBA tonight. Jeff Rulon, who has hit 4 of 4 from the foul line in this period, make it 5 of 5 and 7 of 8 on the night. He's been a good free throw shooter down the stretch. This guy surpassed Sidney Moncrief this year, playing the most minutes in the NBA.
He's got great touch, follow through.
94-88, 6-point lead with 43 to go.
Maxwell couldn't believe it. I mean, Rulon laid a block on Maxwell, almost knocked him in about the
6-point Celtic lead, and these are some big free throws here for Kevin McHale. Like to get it on the odd numbers, and he does.
The odd numbers certainly presents tremendous problems because it gives you that extra possession that's needed to try and come back and beat you.
27 points for the Celtic bench, 10 for the Washington bench, all from Jeff Malone, and fouled outside. Good foul by Gerald Henderson. 30 seconds left to go, 96-90, and the foul in the backcourt. They just got it to Bird, and they just begged one of those rookies, Day or Malone, to foul him.
It really hurts. You're trying to apply pressure, and then you got shooters on the floor like Bird and Dennis Johnson, who are such plus free throw shooters. Frank Johnson,
Bird and Frankie Johnson, they're talking about, well, what are you going to do in the offseason, Frank?
Enjoy it, Larry. I'll be relaxed.
Larry was probably asking if he played golf.
Yeah.
He said, hey, Frankie, you get to tee it up tomorrow. I don't.
Frankie says, no, I can't play any golf. I shoot in the low 70s. If it gets any warmer, I can't play.
Bird misses the first one.
He's blaming it on Frank Johnson. He said, you broke my concentration. He said, Frank, you took my concentration away from me.
96-90, 6-point Celtic lead, 29 to go. Bird hits one of the two. In the nation's capital, as you see the green sweaters and the Celtics pennants.
Roger, it's been nothing but a free throw shooting contest in the last minute. We haven't had a field goal for quite a while since, as we look at Casey Jones again on the sideline, knowing his club's in command. They give him the easy deuce. Don't want to foul him in the three-point play.
And they fouled Dennis Johnson immediately with 23 seconds left to go. You know, I'll tell you something, Dick. Any way you look at it, if you're a good basketball team and you're playing the Washington Bullets, and not to take anything away from them, because they've done a job just to get to the playoffs, but they don't have the best record. And Gene Shue says we'd like a more up-tempo style. There's no way you can look good against them. They make you look ugly, don't they?
They want to get you down to their level of play, which is half-court basketball. And you know, with the 24-second clock, the fans love the beauty of the up-and-down transition game so the players can demonstrate their great skills and talents. They take that and negate that, and that's tremendous coaching because they are limited in personnel, have no bench.
Dennis Johnson with the free throw. Sobers the three-pointer. He missed it, and it's off Maxwell, and it'll be Washington basketball with 20 seconds. Ruland inside. Blocked by McHale. Sobers the three-pointer. Ballard will take it outside to Malone from three-point land. 10 seconds left to go. Ruland the easy two.
It's classic that he gets the last deuce for Washington because he's had such a classic all-star year. Jeff Ruland.
5 seconds. Malone and in. And that's it. The Boston Celtics, and there's a tussle on the floor. Oh, and Buckner just got decked. Henderson and Frankie Johnson are going at it. Henderson and Frankie Johnson are going at it.
Really uncalled for, Roger. The game is over. Absolutely.
Oh, now we've got Sobers and Dennis Johnson. And we were afraid of this. We talked about this before, that if this game got a little bit out of hand at the end as far as the score, that we could get some physical action.
Very important that they keep the fans off the court, and they're doing a good job of that and separating the player. Players should get in the locker room. Get the guys in the locker room.
Oh, you got to be concerned about a couple of people who jumped in. When Buckner really hit the deck, and Ricky Mahorn now with his arm around Frankie Johnson, taking him away. Watch the left-hand side of the screen here now as the two teams are finally separated, and we'll see Frankie Johnson and Gerald Henderson start to wail on one another. Now the frustrations, Dick, of a long season on behalf of Frankie Johnson.
I thought they did a good job of keeping the fans off the court and getting the players separated. Something ugly could have happened, Roger.
So the Celtics beat the Washington Bullets 99-96. They win this best of 5, 3-1. Dick, any comments now for the Celtics going in against the winner of the Pistons and the Knicks?
The Celtics certainly, Roger, have been a Rolls-Royce basketball team all year long. I think they want to get to that up-tempo. They want to get up and down the floor, and they're going to get their chance, especially if they play Detroit. If they play New York, New York's had a lot of success with Boston. Remember, Larry Bird told us the toughest guy for him to play is Bernard King.
Final score, once again, Boston Celtics beat the Washington Bullets 99-96. For Dick Vitale, I'm Roger Twyble. Thanks for being with us at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland. Let's go back to the NBA tonight in Greg Gumbel.